Alright, first and foremost, I want to start this video off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Alright, to the Heavenly Father, Abanawa, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahweh Shah, Wahara Kakodash. Alright, now first thing, let's get into it. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 12. It says, if a ruler hearken to lies, meaning listen and follow and live by and teach, all his servants are wicked. Once again, if a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. So right there you have basically proof that America is wicked. You basically have there that so-called law here doing accessory to murder. The father, he believed in that. All right? So all these people that you, men and women, you heathens, you heathen-minded Israelites, y'all all would be considered wicked if you hearken to any of us. If you any ruler that hearkens to lies and you serve, you gonna connect. For one, he's an abomination because lying is abomination, and it tell you in Apocrypha that a thief is considered better than a liar. All right, so you don't want any. That man is he's pork. He's pork, for lack of better words. And you got connection to that, all right? And you're gonna be considered pork. So your Steve Harveys, your Beyoncés, your Oprah Winfreys, your President Trumps, your politicians, your damn governments, everything, all considered wicked. Anybody that hearkens, anybody that follow these rulers that hearkens to lies, they consider wicked. All right. Now let's get a quick example. A quick example being the Pope. They got tons of followers, tons of so-called believers. He would be considered a ruler because of that. He has power, manipulate minds, to have people gather to him. That's power. That's a ruler. Everybody meet at this place. That's a ruler. Don't do this. That's a ruler. Everybody answers to this Pope that's in charge. Every single one that's put in charge. All right? If that man hearken to lies, guess what? All those people, he's wicked, and all those people that serve him is wicked. Just following him and listening to him and, oh, Pope, kiss my baby, all of that. They consider you're wicked. And that man hearkens to lies, every single one of them. Because they pushed out of the very Bible that we read out of, our scriptures, all right? The Israelites, Yasha Allah, they push out of the same book and get all those people and got this because all Catholicism is, Catholicism is a program, man-made, off of this. That's it. That's all it is. So they manipulate things and they hearken to lies. One being the Pope. His Rodrigo, that's his name. Rodrigo Borgia. He was the sixth Pope, I believe. He was a Pope. And he's the one that set up this image you see of Christ. This blue-eyed, brunette-haired, blonde-haired, sometimes leprous skin was an abomination according to the Bible, considered unclean. The law that's still not done away with, not one jot nor tittle shall pass till all be fulfilled, till earth pass away. That ain't happened yet, so it still stands. So yes, anybody that has no melanin is considered unclean. That's all you so-called white people, Edomites, because that's leprosy. But anyway, that's what they put as the image of Hamashiach, the so-called, in the Greek is Christ, the Messiah, which is Hamashiach in the Hebrew, Yahweh Shai. They put that as his image when there's very scriptures they got and they push out of, and theirs is more lethal than your common actual Israelite that don't know they're an Israelite though, their Bible is more lethal than theirs because their Bible actually has the Apocrypha in it. The history that connects the Old Testament and the New Testament. While people out here bugged out and confused. But they have in theirs what they know what his image look like. Because all the Bibles, these new translations, your NIV, your NLT, man, it's so many. They were all made off the 1611. The 1611 King James Bible, KJV, who's a descendant of the Israelites as well. He's an Israelite as well. Black man, so-called Negro man, so-called black man, King James, yes. They know that. They know what the Hamashiach look like. These Edomites know, but yet they push that. They hearken to lies. And all you men and women, you that follow him, you heathens that follow these men. This is an example. The Pope, for instance, they hearken to lies, and we're gonna prove it, because that's not what Hamashiach look like. So we're gonna go ahead and prove, as we're supposed to do, all things that those men will be considered wicked and rulers that hearken to lies. Because that's not what Hamashiach looks like. Revelation chapter 1 verse 10, it says, I was in the spirit on the Lord's day, and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, and the last, and what thou seest write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto the Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me, and being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. So this will be considered what they call, or what we call a menorah. Okay, the 7-point candlesticks that makes one candle together, right? It says, and he said, and it says, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. So this particular candlestick, it looked like a man. So this is what he was seeing. The vision he was seeing. It says, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. So he had a golden girdle on, this man that he was seeing. This candlestick that looked like a man. It was clothed. It had a long garment on down to the feet. He had a long golden garment down to the feet, and a golden girdle around his paps. And it says his head and his hairs. So his head and his hairs were white like wool. Now, wool, it looks like sheep. It's sheep. Everybody knows it's the nappy stuff. Who has woolly hair on the planet Earth? This is what you would consider woolly hair. If I was to pull this out and have it as an afro, this is basically what he was looking at. All right. Now it says, as white as snow. So he had no more melanin in his hair. None of his hair strands had any more melanin in them, to where he was gray. And it says, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. So he had bloodshot red eyes. His eyes were bloodshot. And it says his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burnt in a furnace. So everybody knows your feet is the same color as the rest of your other body. Now, if you go into the scriptures, you will clearly see that, like if you look up the word brass, I forget what the word is, but you can go look it up, and it's going to tell you that the color brass, the word brass right there, is basically like derivative of copper. What color is copper? Copper is brown. But not only brown, it says, so his feet was brown, but it says, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burnt in a furnace. So they weren't only brown, they was dark. They looked like they burnt in a furnace. So that brass is like it burnt in a furnace. That brown, that copper, that brown, it looked like it burnt in a furnace. So he was a very dark man, dark-skinned man. And it said that his voice is the sound of many waters. So he was loud, as they say the Judites are. Loud and ghetto. We got strong, powerful voices. All right, that's all it is. Now, as I was saying, the Pope knows, all the popes, they know. Rodrigo Borgia, he knew, but yet he had Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo come in and paint his son's image as the image of the Messiah. That's how wicked these men are. And the people, even till this, they never threw away the KJV. The new translations that came out, they never stopped copying up what the KJV said. That's how they come up with these things, because they make these new translations, they make them more appeasing to people. Because the King James is a sword, man. It's a two-edged sword, as it tell you in Hebrews chapter 4, verse 14. All right? If I'm not mistaken. But they know what the Messiah looks like, man. They know. And we're gonna get another instance of account from another witness. These rulers. If you serve a ruler, and that man hearkens to lies, hey, you're wicked. You're just as filthy as him. That's what he is, because he hearkens to lies, which are abomination, which is considered worse than a thief, a liar. Salakia 4:12. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 12. I didn't want to keep that. I want to clear that up. It's been a minute since I pulled that. But yeah, see, it's a two-edged sword, man. They know. So this book is harsh. All right. Now we're gonna get the other account of Yahweh Shah really quick, and we're gonna wrap this video up, proving that these men, these rulers they hearken to lies. That's not what he looks like. This is just a simple example. You know, this is chapter 10 of the book of Daniel, and verse 6. We're gonna start from the top. Verse 1. In the 3rd year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was called Belteshazzar. So just how we have for the edification purposes, just how we have these government names, they don't even go back to our actual heritage, you know, our customs of names, of letters, of sounds, you know, of tongue. It's same thing. We were subject to the same thing in ancient times. So it says, and the thing was true, but the appointed time was long, and he understood the thing, and had understanding of the vision. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant bread. Neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth. Neither did I anoint myself at all, till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. And in the 4th and 20th day of the 1st month, as I was by the side of the great river, which is Hiddekel, then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man, clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with a fine gold fast of views, with fine Salakia, whose loins were girded with fine gold of view fast. That gold girdle again, right? So it says, verse 6, his body also was like the beryl. So the garment he had on, you know, it was covering his body. It looked like it was basically green, it was like the beryl. It's like the stone of Judah that the priests will wear, the Levitical priests. It says, and his face as the appearance of lightning. So he looked at his face had a bright aura on it. It says, and his eyes as lamps of fire. So he had those bloodshot red eyes. He had bloodshot red eyes. Okay, because we know the Lord, he drunk wine. You know, and a lot of other higher reasons. His eyes were bloodshot. It says, not even really higher, you know. It says, whose loins were girded with the Salakia. And his eyes as a lamp of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass. And his arms and his feet, and his arms and his feet, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass. So it was brown, man. I just proved it. I just cut through it. Rest of your body. So-called black man, Negro man, man. And those men know that that's what he looked like. But yet, they got the Messiah looking like damn surfer boy that work at Hollister or something. Looking like Silent Bob from forget the movie. Movie with Mike Myers and the blonde haired dude, the little rocker dude, just little friends. You look like him. Basically. It's just a bunch of clown stuff, man. So all those people that would be followers or servants of him, they would be considered wicked. Because those men hearken to lies. Think like a man, Steve Harvey. You follow Steve Harvey. Women follow Steve Harvey. Men follow Steve Harvey's advice. If that man, Steve Harvey, hearkens to lies, guess what? All those people that follow him and serve him, example being what? He wrote a book called Act Like a Man, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman. So he going off already. Because if he had the true knowledge, wisdom, understanding, he'd be telling people, read this book, get into this. Go back to your heritage. Turn back to the Father. He hearkens to lies, man. They hearken to lies. So all you people that bought his book, that would be a way of servicing him. You serve him. You keep up with Steve Harvey's talk show. You go see Steve Harvey when he comes to town. You listen to all his advice. You buy his book. You make sure you're in attendance for him, all right? And people know about Steve Harvey. Beyonce, same thing. Y'all serve her. She hearkens to lies. One minute she Egyptian princess, then she's dealing with India's culture. Then she all over the place, man. She's dirty. She's supposed to drink waters of your own cistern well, man. She basically a strange woman. All these people, man. All these celebs. You know? LeBron James. All these people, man. I mean, these are Israelites, but they're heathenistic in their minds. They're Hellenized. They hearken a lot, and they're rulers, and that's why they're where they at, because they know everybody that follow them is going to serve them. Thus, everyone's going to be lost, because they want everybody to be lost because they know the truth. That's why America is wicked. This place is about to be destroyed, and that's just what it is, man. All this place got to go. Majority of everybody I know is wicked. Oh, I don't want to talk about that's another conspiracy. Oh, here this guy go again with this. Man, come on, bro. That's all you hear. I don't even, man, it's hey, so far gone from it. But by the Spirit, I was able to do this because I was supposed to do this video the other day, but I had a toothache. Not a toothache, I got my tooth removed. You know, flesh weak. My flesh weak. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. But my spirit was aching me. You know, it made me think of Paul when he was stoned, and the disciples thought he was dead, and the Jews, they thought they killed him, and they stood around him, and he rose back up. Paul had that heavy spirit on him. He was in the faith. He was in the faith. That's what it's about. That could tell us, and he rose back up, and he went back to do the work. You know, that's inspiring. So we glory in the weakness, so we could be exalted. Because if you exalt yourself, you're gonna be debased. All that exalt themselves shall be debased, as the scriptures tell us. Let me get that real quick to counter that. You know, that's what it's about. So like I said, man. Let me get this in the book of Acts chapter 14, verse 22. So it says, point being, confirming the souls, Acts chapter 14, verse 22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. So that's what it's about, man. You got to do it. You got to push through all tribulation. You know, that's what makes it this thing. That's what increases that faith, man. You know. But he had me do it, you know, man's goings. He had me do it today. This by the Spirit. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. He had me do it today. You know, preparations of the man's mind being this preparations of the mind in him. But the answer to the tongue is from the Lord. So, you know, goings and your tongue you control. So, hey, when I got to sit, really, you know, eat on that edification. You know, that I knew, but it really inspired me to, you know, do it. This weakness of this flesh, man. We change soon. But with that, I'm going to say shalom, shalom. Till next time.